Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Collections, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in American history, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This little copper coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but some rare versions of it have sold for unbelievable prices. So, stick around till the end, because you won't believe how much one of these pennies is worth. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the most iconic coins ever produced by the United States Mint. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the design quickly became a collector's favorite. The 1944 Wheat Penny is especially interesting because it was struck during the final years of World War II, a time when the U.S. Mint was making adjustments to coin production due to metal shortages. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, you'll find the famous right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Above his head, the word Liberty is inscribed, and to the right, you'll see the date, 1944. Below the date, there may be a mint mark, either a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. If there is no mint mark, that means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is boldly displayed at the top. Now, flipping the coin over, we see the classic wheat ears design, which gives this penny its name. On either side, two stalks of wheat frame the words, 1 cent and United States of America. Above the denomination, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, is inscribed, meaning, out of many, one. This design remained in circulation until 1958, when the Lincoln Memorial replaced it on the reverse. So, what makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny so valuable? There are a few factors that can turn an ordinary penny into a life-changing fortune. First, let's talk about condition. Like all coins, the value of the 1944 penny depends heavily on its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70, Mint State 70, being a flawless, perfect coin. A heavily worn 1944 penny might only be worth a few cents, but an uncirculated, high-grade example, especially one graded MS 65 or higher, can be worth thousands of dollars. If your penny has full details, sharp edges, and no major scratches, it could be a collector's dream. Next, let's discuss rare minting errors. Some of the most valuable 1944 pennies feature unique mistakes made during production. Here are a few key errors to watch for. 1944 steel penny. While most 1944 pennies were made of copper, a small number were accidentally struck on steel planchets left over from 1943. These rare steel pennies are incredibly valuable and can fetch astronomical prices at auctions. If your 1944 penny is magnetic and has a silver color, you might have one of these rare treasures. Double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, causing noticeable doubling of the letters or numbers. If you see a double defect in the words, Liberty or, In God We Trust, you could be holding a rare and valuable error coin. Off-center strikes. These occur when the coin is not properly aligned during striking, resulting in an off-center image. The more dramatic the off-center error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Repunched mint marks. In 1944, mint marks were hand-punched onto coins, leading to cases where they were stamped multiple times. If your penny has a visible shadow of a second mint mark, it might be worth big money. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value. While a standard 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny might only be worth a few cents, rare and high-grade versions, especially those with errors, have sold for an unbelievable $150,000. Today we're diving deep into a legendary coin that could be hiding in your collection or even in a jar of old pennies you have lying around. We're talking about the United States of America 1 cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1950. This coin might seem simple, but there's more to it than meets the eye, and some versions of it have earned serious attention in the numismatic world for their value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is undoubtedly one of the most recognized coins in American history. Struck from 1909 until 1958, this penny features a stunning design by Victor D. Brenner, depicting the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse. He's looking to the right, with the words "Liberty" inscribed above, the date below, and the iconic motto, "In God We Trust," etched above his head. What sets the 1950 penny apart from other years in this series? Well, first, let's take a look at the historical context. 1950 marked a period after World War II when the United States Mint was producing coins in large quantities. However, unlike many other years during the series, the 1950 penny has some distinct characteristics that can make it incredibly valuable, depending on its condition and any possible minting errors. On the reverse of the 1950 penny, we see two stalks of wheat, which is where the coin gets its name. The phrase "United States of America" appears along the top, with "De Pluribus Unum" underneath. And, of course, it's worth mentioning the large 1 cent inscribed in the center of the coin, proudly declaring the denomination. The design is simple, yet elegant, making the Lincoln Wheat Penny one of the most cherished coins in the world of collectors. So, what makes the 1950 version so special? Let's talk about the key factors that influence its value. Like with most coins, the first thing you should consider is its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are always going to be worth more than those that have seen years of circulation and wear. The condition of a coin is measured by its grade, which ranges from poor to perfect. A high-grade 1950 penny could be worth much more than one that is heavily worn. Coins in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS 65 and above, can bring in some serious cash, but the story doesn't end there. While most 1950 pennies were struck with the typical mint marks D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or none at all for Philadelphia, there are certain rare versions that are highly sought after due to minting errors or anomalies. The 1950 S over D error. This is a particularly rare and valuable error coin. The San Francisco Mint produced a small number of pennies that were struck with a D mint mark underneath the S mint mark. This error makes the coin highly collectible and increases its value significantly. If you happen to find one of these, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. The 1950 D over D error. Another mistake made by the mint in 1950 involved the Denver Mint. Some coins were struck with a repunched mint mark. This happens when the D mint mark is stamped twice, creating a doubled appearance. If you have one of these, it's a highly coveted piece, especially if it's in good condition. Now, if we are talking about value, there are a few other things to keep in mind. Coins with historical significance, especially in mint state condition or with errors, can fetch prices far beyond what you might expect. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny has had its fair share of headlines, with some of the rarest examples being sold for a mind-blowing sum. In fact, if you happen to come across a particularly well-preserved or error-ridden 1950 penny, it could be worth as much as $140,000. Yes, you heard that right, $140,000 for a single penny. That's right, this small piece of history, depending on its rarity and condition, could be worth more than many luxury cars, houses, and even some classic works of art. So, what does this mean for you, the collector? Well, if you have a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny sitting in your collection, now might be the time to take a closer look. Even if it's not in mint condition or doesn't have a rare error, it could still be worth more than you think. The key is to check the mint mark, assess the coin's condition, and watch out for any unique variations or minting errors that might make your penny stand out from the rest. Today we're exploring a truly remarkable and iconic piece of American history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1953. You might have seen this penny before, perhaps buried in a jar or tucked away in your collection, but did you know that this seemingly ordinary penny can actually be worth an astonishing amount of money? Buckle up, because the value of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is something that's bound to surprise you. Let's take a moment to talk about the coin itself. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, quickly became a beloved part of American currency. Featuring the image of the great President Lincoln on the obverse, along with the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," this penny stands as a reminder of Lincoln's impact on the United States. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic design of two stalks of wheat surrounding the words, 1 cent, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. Now, fast forward to 1953. The United States was coming off the heels of the post-war era, and the economy was steadily growing. The U.S. Mint was hard at work producing billions of coins, including the Lincoln Wheat Penny, which remained a staple of American currency. Despite the large number of these coins produced, there are certain characteristics about the 1953 penny that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. First, let's talk about the mint marks. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While most of the coins from this year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and carry no mint mark, the Denver and San Francisco coins are also worth noting. These pennies are often slightly rarer than their Philadelphia counterparts, which means they tend to fetch higher prices on the collector's market. But it's not just the mint mark that can make a 1953 penny valuable, it's the coin's condition, rarity, and any potential errors. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A well-preserved 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in mint state condition is incredibly desirable. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect, with higher grades indicating that the coin has been well cared for and shows little to no wear. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. For example, if you come across a 1953 penny that is graded as MS 65 or higher, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than just its face value. But what about errors? Minting errors are some of the most exciting and profitable finds for coin collectors. In fact, certain 1953 Lincoln Wheat pennies have been found to have minting mistakes that make them incredibly rare and highly valuable. For instance, there are some examples of coins with double die errors, where the images and inscriptions on the coin appear to be doubled, giving it a unique and unmistakable look. These errors are highly sought after by collectors, and finding one can dramatically increase the value of your penny. So, how much is a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth? Well, if you happen to own a coin in near-perfect condition, or one that features a rare minting error, you could be in for a windfall. While most common 1953 pennies are worth just a few cents above their face value, high-quality specimens, especially those with errors or rare mint marks, can command serious amounts of money. Coins in mint condition or those with a particularly rare error can easily sell for thousands of dollars at auctions or from collectors looking to add to their collections. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the incredible value of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you find yourself holding a high-grade example or a rare version with a minting error, it's not out of the question that your coin could be worth as much as $110,000. Yes, that's right. $110,000 for a single penny. To put that into perspective, that's enough to buy a brand new car, pay off your student loans, or even put a down payment on a house. The value of a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, depending on its condition and rarity, can be truly life-changing. So, next time you find a 1953 penny in your collection or stumble upon one in a jar of old coins, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just be holding onto something much more valuable than you ever imagined. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1949. You might be surprised to know that a simple, vintage penny can hold tremendous value. In fact, this coin, which has spent decades in circulation, is more than just a relic of the past. With the right characteristics, a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny can be worth far more than its face value. In fact, we're talking about a potential value of $10,000. Yes, you heard that right, $10,000 for just a single penny, the Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, became a symbol of American heritage. It remained in circulation for decades, undergoing several design changes, but its classic wheat ears on the reverse side became synonymous with U.S. currency for many. The 1949 penny is no exception, and while it might look like an ordinary penny to the untrained eye, it has some qualities that can make it quite special in the world of numismatics. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out. First, it's essential to understand the historical context of this particular year. The U.S. economy in 1949 was in a period of recovery following World War II. While the country was still adjusting to the post-war environment, coins like the 1949 penny were being struck in significant numbers by the U.S. Mint. However, not all of them made it through the years in pristine condition. Over time, many of these pennies ended up worn, damaged, or lost to the ages. This is where the story of rarity and value begins. The first thing that can significantly impact the value of a 1949 penny is its condition. The grade of the coin, which refers to how well preserved it is a crucial factor in determining its worth. A coin that has been well maintained over the years, with minimal wear and tear, is far more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated. In the world of coin grading, coins are given a score based on their appearance, and higher grade coins, like those in mint state, MS, or proof condition, are often worth much more than their lower graded counterparts. A 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny in excellent condition can be worth significantly more than one that shows signs of heavy use. One of the most significant factors that can boost the value of your 1949 penny is whether it has any minting errors. Errors can occur during the production process, and coins with these mistakes are often highly sought after by collectors. One of the more famous errors associated with the 1949 penny is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing the image to appear doubled. These types of errors are rare and can command premium prices in the market. If you come across a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a double die or other noticeable minting flaws, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Another factor to consider is the mint mark on the coin. The 1949 penny was minted at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While the Philadelphia Mint struck the majority of these pennies, there are also versions with mint marks indicating they were made in Denver or San Francisco. Pennies from these locations are generally more rare than those without a mint mark, which means they could be worth a bit more, especially if they are in top-notch condition. Of course, one of the main reasons collectors are so excited about the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the rarity of high-quality examples. Over the years, many of these pennies were heavily circulated, leading to significant wear. It's the coins that survived in great condition, either through careful storage or just sheer luck, that fetch the highest prices. A well-preserved 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny could be the jewel in any collection. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While most common examples of the 1949 penny are worth only a few cents above their face value, high-grade specimens or rare error coins can be worth much more. In fact, if you happen to own a 1949 penny in mint state condition or one with a significant minting error, you could be looking at a value of up to $10,000. Yes, that's right, $10,000 for a single penny. Imagine that. What once seemed like an ordinary coin can now be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you're digging through a jar of old pennies or flipping through your collection, take a moment to inspect your 1949 Lincoln Wheat pennies carefully. You might just find that you've got something more valuable than you ever realized. Today's exciting episode, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1945. If you've ever wondered if a simple penny could be worth a fortune, you're in for a treat. You might be surprised to learn that this particular coin, which has been circulating for decades, could be worth a staggering $77,000. Yes, you heard that right, $77,000 for a single penny. Now, let's explore why the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so special and what makes it so valuable in today's market. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design quickly became iconic, and the coin remained in circulation for over 50 years, until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Penny in 1959. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, however, holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting. So, what makes the 1945 penny stand out from the rest? The year 1945 was a significant one in American history, as the country was coming to the end of World War II. After years of economic uncertainty and rationing, the post-war era was ushering in a time of prosperity and change. This economic shift had a direct impact on coin production, and the 1945 penny is a reflection of this unique period in history. Now, when it comes to determining the value of a coin like the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the condition is crucial. The grading system used by numismatists, coin experts, is essential in evaluating how much a coin is worth. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with higher grades reflecting coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear and no visible damage. The most valuable 1945 Lincoln Wheat pennies are those in near mint or mint condition, where the details are sharp and the surfaces are smooth. A well-preserved coin will command a significantly higher price than one that has been heavily circulated. In addition to condition, certain minting errors can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, if the 1945 penny has any sort of unique error during its production, such as a double strike, misalignment, or other visible flaws, it can be worth much more than a standard example. Coins with minting errors are highly sought after by collectors, as they are considered rare and unique. These errors make a coin stand out in the market, and in some cases, can push the value into the thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. Another factor that can influence the value of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint struck coins at different facilities, and the mint mark indicates where the coin was made. The 1945 penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from these different mints can have varying levels of rarity, depending on how many were produced at each location. For instance, pennies minted in Philadelphia may be more common, while those minted in San Francisco or Denver might be rarer and therefore more valuable. The 1945 penny is also notable for its historical context. During World War II, the U.S. Mint used a variety of materials to strike coins, including copper and zinc. By the time the war was nearing its end in 1945, the mint was transitioning back to using the standard copper composition for pennies. This change in materials, along with the economic and political climate of the time, gives the 1945 penny a certain charm and collectability that many collectors find irresistible. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: the value of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While most of these pennies are worth only a few cents above their face value, those in exceptional condition or with minting errors can command a much higher price. In fact, a rare 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny in excellent condition, or one with a significant minting error, can be worth up to $77,000. Yes, you heard that right, $77,000 for a penny. If you happen to have a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your collection, or if you come across one in your coin hunting adventures, make sure to inspect it carefully. Look for signs of wear, check for minting errors, and pay attention to the mint mark. You might just be sitting on a rare treasure that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. As with any collectible, the key to getting the best value for your coins is to have them properly evaluated by a professional. A certified numismatist or coin dealer can help you determine the true worth of your coins and guide you on how to sell or trade them for the best possible price. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby that allows you to connect with history, preserve valuable items, and potentially make a significant profit. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is just one example of how an ordinary coin can become a hidden gem, waiting to be discovered by collectors who know what to look for. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a classic favorite from the United States, the Lincoln Wheat Penny, specifically the 1957 edition with a mint mark that could have you sitting on a small fortune. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny from 1957 could be worth more than you'd ever imagine. Stick with us to find out why the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most sought-after coins in the numismatic world today. To kick things off, let's take a brief look at the rich history of the Lincoln Wheat Penny itself. This coin, first introduced in 1909, was created to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the iconic penny features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, the back. For more than 50 years, these pennies circulated across the country, with their distinct design becoming a symbol of both American history and the everyday transactions of the American people. Now, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny specifically is a rare gem. It's part of the final years of the Wheat Penny series, which was phased out in 1959 in favor of the Lincoln Memorial design. But the 1957 edition stands out for a couple of key reasons. For starters, it was struck during a time of economic prosperity and growth in the U.S. following the end of World War II. As the country entered the 1950s, the U.S. Mint was busy producing millions of pennies to keep up with the demand for coins in circulation. However, not all of them were created equal, and some of these pennies are much more valuable than others. So, why is the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny so valuable? Well, as with all coins, the condition plays a huge role in determining its worth. If you're lucky enough to have a 1957 penny that is in mint or near mint condition, you're looking at a coin that could easily fetch more than its face value. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear, are highly prized by collectors and can sell for much more than you might think. A well-maintained 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds, depending on the condition, but what really sets the 1957 penny apart from other coins is the possibility of finding a rare version, one with a minting error. Coins that have unique flaws, such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or off-center mintings, are extremely rare and highly collectible. A 1957 penny with one of these types of errors could easily command a much higher price in the market. Collectors love to get their hands on these types of coins because they're considered one-of-a-kind pieces, making them even more valuable. Another key factor that impacts the value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint operates different facilities across the country, and each coin has a small mint mark that indicates where it was struck. For the 1957 penny, it was produced at 3 main locations: Philadelphia, which didn't use a mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Depending on the mint mark, the rarity of the coin can vary. Pennies struck in San Francisco, for instance, were often produced in smaller quantities, making them more scarce and therefore more valuable to collectors. Now, let's talk about the really exciting part: the potential worth of your 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Most of these pennies are worth just a few cents, but in the world of coin collecting, things can take a dramatic turn when you discover a rare specimen. A 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny in pristine condition, or one with a minting error, can fetch up to an astonishing $87,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $87,000 for a penny. Of course, the condition, rarity, and specific details of the coin play a crucial role in determining its final price, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes a simple penny can hold incredible value. So, if you've ever wondered if that old jar of pennies or that loose change in your drawer could be worth anything, it's time to take a closer look. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny could be hiding among your collection, just waiting to be discovered. And with the possibility of finding a rare, high-value coin, you could be looking at a substantial profit. Just make sure to inspect the penny carefully for any imperfections or errors, and be sure to note the mint mark and condition. A certified coin dealer or numismatist can help you assess its value and guide you through the process if you decide to sell. As always, coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby that not only allows you to connect with the past but also offers the potential for great financial returns. If you're new to collecting or just starting to explore the world of rare coins, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a great place to begin. It's a perfect example of how something as humble as a penny can be worth far more than meets the eye. Today, in this video, we're going to talk about the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1981. It might sound like just another penny, but you might be surprised to learn how valuable this coin can be. So, Stick around as we uncover the fascinating story behind this particular penny, and what makes it so special in the world of numismatics. First, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Lincoln Wheat Penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Wheat Penny design was a huge step forward in American coinage. Featuring a portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, the back, it became a symbol of the American spirit. The design remained in circulation for over half a century, before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Fast forward to 1981, when the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies in large numbers. Now, you might be thinking, what makes a penny from 1981 stand out? After all, it's just another year in the ongoing production of 1-cent coins. But here's the twist: the 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of those rare coins that can become incredibly valuable under the right circumstances. While most 1981 pennies are worth just their face value, there are a few reasons why this particular year stands out in the numismatic world. The first thing to understand is that not all 1981 pennies were created equally. The U.S. Mint struck these coins at multiple minting facilities, and the mint marks play a key role in determining their rarity. Pennies with a D mint mark indicate they were produced in Denver, while those with an S mark were struck in San Francisco. But what makes the 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny even more interesting is that a significant number of them were produced with minor but noticeable minting errors, which can drastically increase their value. One of the key aspects collectors look for when evaluating a 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the coin's condition. Just like with any collectible, condition is king. If you happen to have a 1981 penny in mint condition, meaning it has minimal wear and tear, sharp details, and is free of any corrosion or discoloration, you may already be holding onto a valuable piece of American history. A well-preserved 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny can fetch far more than its face value, as collectors are always on the lookout for pristine examples to add to their collections. But what truly pushes the value of the 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny into the realm of big money is the possibility of mint errors. Yes, mistakes happen, even in the minting process. Coins that feature double strikes, misaligned dies, or other unusual features can be worth a small fortune. A 1981 penny with these kinds of errors can become a rare and sought-after collectible. For example, some pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the design appears more than once, creating a noticeable overlap or doubling effect. These errors are highly prized by collectors and can cause the value of a coin to skyrocket. Another factor that drives the value of this penny is its overall rarity. Although the 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not a rare year in itself, certain variations, especially those with errors, are much harder to find. And when a coin is harder to find, its demand increases, and so does its value. This is why a small number of collectors are willing to pay top dollar for certain 1981 pennies. They know that these coins represent a unique piece of U.S. mint history that can't be replicated. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the potential value of your 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you're lucky enough to find a well-preserved coin with a mint error, or if you simply have one that has been expertly graded, you could be sitting on something extremely valuable. Most 1981 Lincoln Wheat Pennies are worth only a few cents, but the rare examples, those with high-grade conditions or unique errors, can fetch significant amounts of money. If you've got a coin that is in exceptional condition or features a minting error, it could very well be worth up to $97,000. Yes, that's right, $97,000 for a 1981 penny. Of course, the condition, the mint mark, and whether the coin has any errors will all factor into its final value, but even a standard 1981 penny that's in near mint condition could be worth much more than you'd expect. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you have a collection of pennies lying around, especially if you've held on to some 1981 Lincoln Wheat Pennies, it's definitely worth your while to take a closer look at them. Don't just toss them aside thinking they're just another penny. You never know when a coin you have might turn out to be worth a small fortune. Remember, coin collecting is a journey that requires patience, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. If you think you've got a rare 1981 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your hands, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded and appraised. A professional numismatist can help you determine its true value and, if it's rare enough, guide you through the process of selling or simply adding it to your collection. Today, we're going to explore a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but it holds some serious worth in the numismatic world, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1980. You might be thinking, how could a penny from 1980 possibly be worth anything beyond its face value? Well, stick around, because this penny could surprise you, and you might just be holding onto a real treasure without even knowing it. Let's start with a bit of background about the Lincoln Wheat Penny. This iconic coin first debuted in 1909, designed to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The obverse side features a bust of Lincoln, while the reverse showcases 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. This design remained in circulation for many years, before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. However, the Lincoln Wheat Penny's legacy lives on, and coins from the later years, like the 1980 version, still carry an air of collectability and, yes, significant value for the right collector. Now, why should a coin from 1980 interest you? After all, the 1980 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't ancient or particularly rare at first glance. But, as is the case with many coins, it's not just the age or the year of minting that makes it valuable, it's the condition, the mint mark, and any possible mint errors that can drastically increase its worth. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The 1980 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, and each coin has a tiny letter on it to tell you where it was made. A D mint mark indicates it was produced in Denver, while an S mint mark indicates it was made in San Francisco. For most people, these mint marks are easy to overlook, but collectors know that certain mint marks can have a big impact on a coin's value. A 1980 penny from the San Francisco Mint, for example, is often in better condition than those produced in Denver, and some variations can be much rarer than others. What truly boosts the value of this penny, however, are the potential errors that occurred during the minting process. Yes, even pennies can have defects that make them much more valuable. Some 1980 Lincoln Wheat Pennies exhibit double strikes, where the design is stamped more than once, causing a blurry or overlapping image. There are also misaligned dies that create strange imprints, making these coins highly sought after by collectors. These types of mint errors are relatively rare, and finding one of these in your collection can significantly increase its worth. But even without mint errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. In the world of coin collecting, the grade of a coin is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin in mint condition. A 1980 penny that is still in excellent condition, sharp details, vibrant color, and minimal wear, can be worth much more than its face value. And if you happen to find one that has been well preserved over the years, you might be looking at a coin worth far more than you expected. So, what about the value of the 1980 Lincoln Wheat Penny overall? While most of the pennies you find in circulation or in coin rolls are worth just 1 cent, some specific versions of the 1980 penny can be worth significantly more. With a rare minting error, high grade, or just the right combination of factors, these pennies can become valuable collector's items. In fact, there have been instances where these coins have sold for as much as $90,000. Imagine that, holding a penny in your hand and realizing that it could fetch $90,000 in the right market. That's the power of rare coins, and it's why collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for those hidden gems among their change or in their collections. So, how do you know if you have a valuable 1980 Lincoln Wheat Penny? First, take a good look at the condition. Does it have any noticeable wear, or does it still have clear, sharp details? Is there any discoloration or rust, or is the coin still shining bright? These are all important indicators. Next, check for mint marks and any visible errors in the design. Does the penny have an unusual look? A double date or a misaligned design? These are the kinds of things collectors go wild for. If you're not sure about the value of your penny, it might be a good idea to get it professionally graded. A certified numismatist can help you determine the coin's worth based on its condition, rarity, and any errors it might have. And who knows, what seems like a simple penny could turn out to be a rare, valuable piece of history. To sum it all up, the 1980 Lincoln Wheat Penny is far more than just a coin that you'd find lying around. Thanks to its potential for minting errors, variations in condition, and the rarity of certain mint marks, this penny has become a sought-after item among collectors. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these in excellent condition or with a minting error, you could be holding on to something worth a whopping $90,000. Today, we're going to take a closer look at one of the lesser-discussed coins from the Lincoln Wheat series, the 1978 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny. While this might not seem like the most obvious coin to discuss, don't be fooled. There's more to this penny than meets the eye, and it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Stick with me as we dive into its fascinating story and explore why this 1978 penny might be sitting in your collection as a hidden gem. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, which first debuted in 1909, quickly became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it honored the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, who was one of the most important figures in American history. The coin featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side and a pair of wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing the agricultural prosperity of America. While the design was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial, the wheat penny remained an enduring symbol of U.S. currency for decades. Today, the wheat penny is a favorite among collectors, and versions from later years, like the 1978 penny, have sparked renewed interest. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes the 1978 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? Well, the answer lies in a few key factors, namely its condition, rarity, and the possibility of minting errors. You might think, it's just a penny from 1978, how could it be worth much? But let me tell you, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, it's the seemingly ordinary coins that turn out to be worth a lot more than their face value. First, let's talk about the importance of the mint mark. Like many other U.S. coins, the 1978 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at different U.S. mint facilities, and the mint mark can make all the difference in terms of a coin's value. For the 1978 penny, the two most common mint marks are D for Denver and S for San Francisco. Both of these mint marks were used on the 1978 pennies, but there are subtle differences in the production quality between them. The pennies minted in San Francisco tend to be of better quality, with sharper details, which is a key factor that collectors look for. Speaking of quality, the condition of your 1978 penny is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen. A 1978 Lincoln Wheat Penny that's been well preserved can fetch a much higher price than one that's heavily worn or corroded. A coin in near mint or mint condition, one with clear, crisp details and minimal signs of wear, will always be more valuable to collectors. It's a good idea to take a careful look at your penny. Does it have a shiny, almost new appearance? Are the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait still sharp? If the answer is yes, your coin could be worth much more than you think. But what really makes the 1978 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out for collectors are the potential mint errors. Yes, this is where things get exciting. Minting errors are one of the most sought-after aspects of coin collecting, and the 1978 penny is no exception. Some of the most valuable coins are those with manufacturing defects, such as double strikes, off-center coins, or coins with misaligned dies. These types of errors can create unique and one-of-a-kind items that are highly prized by collectors. For example, a 1978 penny with a double die or double strike can be worth a small fortune due to its rarity. Additionally, there are certain features on the 1978 penny that collectors look for to identify a higher quality or rare coin. A variety of die cracks and die clashing errors are found on some 1978 pennies, and these are also valuable for collectors who specialize in errors. If you happen to spot a penny with one of these defects, it's worth getting it professionally graded to see if it qualifies as a rare or valuable coin. Now, let's talk numbers. Most 1978 Lincoln Wheat pennies you find in circulation today are worth just 1 cent. However, certain rare versions, especially those in mint condition or with minting errors, can fetch impressive amounts. And the best part is, these coins are still relatively affordable compared to some of the more famous rarities in the world of coin collecting. But if you happen to have the right 1978 penny in your collection, you could be holding onto something that's worth far more than its face value. In fact, depending on the condition, mint mark, and any potential mint errors, the 1978 Lincoln Wheat penny could be worth as much as $92,000. Yes, you read that right, $92,000 in words. Imagine finding a penny that you've been holding onto for years and realizing it could fetch that kind of price. Whether it's a rare mint error or simply a coin that's been kept in pristine condition, the value of a 1978 Lincoln Wheat penny can vary, but for the right collector, it's definitely a coin worth paying attention to. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1978 Lincoln Wheat penny on your hands? Start by carefully examining the condition of the coin. Look for any signs of wear, discoloration, or damage. Check for any mint marks, and take note of whether the coin was struck at the Denver or San Francisco Mint. If you see any unusual features, like a double strike, a misaligned die, or a die crack, make sure to have your coin professionally graded by a certified numismatist. In the world of coin collecting, the 1978 Lincoln Wheat penny might not seem like the most obvious choice for a big payday, but with the right conditions, it's a coin that can surprise you. Whether you have one in excellent shape or have found one with a rare mint error, it could be worth a substantial amount. Keep an eye on your pennies, and remember, the most unexpected coins might just be the ones that hold the most value. Today, we're taking a closer look at a classic and intriguing piece of American coinage, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny. This coin is more than just a simple penny. It carries a rich history and can be worth much more than its face value if you know where to look. Let's dive into the details of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny, and who knows, you might have one of these hidden gems sitting in your collection right now. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has long been a favorite among collectors. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic coin features the profile of President Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The wheat penny was in circulation until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. However, many of the coins from the wheat series are still highly prized today, particularly for their historical significance and potential rarity. Now, let's focus on the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny. At first glance, you might think it's just another coin from the 1950s, but there's a lot more to this little piece of history than meets the eye. While most 1954 pennies are worth only a few cents, there are certain factors that can elevate their value significantly. From the mint mark to the condition of the coin, several elements can make a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny a rare and valuable collector's item. Let's start with the mint mark. Like many other coins produced by the U.S. Mint, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in different locations, and the mint mark on the coin indicates where it was made. For the 1954 penny, you'll find mint marks such as D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark, which indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Depending on the mint mark, the rarity and value of the coin can vary. For example, 1954 pennies with a D mint mark are more common, while those from the San Francisco Mint are often harder to find, and therefore more valuable. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin is absolutely crucial. A 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny in mint condition, with little to no wear, is worth much more than one that's been heavily circulated. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A coin in excellent condition, often referred to as brilliant uncirculated, will have sharp details, no noticeable scratches, and an overall appearance that's as close to its original state as possible. If you have a 1954 penny in this kind of shape, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. another factor that can increase the value of your 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the presence of any minting errors. Coin errors are highly coveted by collectors, and the 1954 penny is no exception. There are several types of minting errors that can make your penny worth far more than its face value, such as double dies, die cracks, or off-center strikes. These errors occur during the coin production process and can create unique and rare variations of a coin. If your 1954 penny has any of these errors, it could potentially increase its value substantially. One of the most fascinating things about coin collecting is the fact that even a small detail can have a big impact on a coin's value. For example, a 1954 penny that's been struck with a double die error can be worth far more than a regular, well-worn penny from the same year. Double die errors happen when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or overstrikes the design, leading to a doubling of the image on the coin. If you've ever come across a 1954 penny with doubled lettering or numbers, you might be looking at a rare and valuable coin. Now, let's talk numbers. Most 1954 Lincoln Wheat pennies are worth just a few cents, but when you start factoring in the mint mark, condition, and potential errors, the value can skyrocket. In fact, if you have a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny in pristine condition or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $96,000, that's right, $96,000 in words. Imagine finding that coin sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change. How incredible would that be? A single penny worth a small fortune. Of course, not every 1954 penny will fetch such a high price, but if you have one that's been well preserved or has some sort of rare error, it could very well be worth a significant amount. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny? First, take a close look at the coin. Check for any mint marks and note whether it was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint. Then, carefully examine the coin's condition. Is it in nearly mint condition, with no noticeable wear? Finally, look for any potential minting errors, such as double strikes or die cracks. If you spot anything unusual, it's a good idea to have the coin professionally graded to determine its true value. In conclusion, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny may seem like just another coin from the 1950s, but when you dig deeper into its history, minting details, and potential errors, you might just discover that it's worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know, your next treasure could be hiding in your pocket. Thank you for joining me on this coin collecting journey. If you enjoyed today's video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more exciting coin-related content. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep searching for those hidden gems.